Okay, hello, and welcome to Anime-chan, and this is my timer reaction to the last episode of Demon Slayer, the Entertainment District arc. I heard that it was going to be a 45-minute episode, but it looks like it's 32 minutes and 26 seconds, so a little sad because I was like so hyped and excited for 45 minutes, but either way, I'm just happy that I get to experience this amazing show. And I already saw on Twitter that a new season has been announced. Sword, I don't remember the name of the arc, but I will at the end of the video just go take a look on Twitter again. I've just been limiting my time on Twitter today because obviously I didn't want to be spoiled. So yeah, if you don't know how a timer reaction works, just check the description. There is a link to a tweet that in the replies to the tweet, people show their setup, so you can have like you can watch my reaction on your phone and the episode on your laptop, and then basically we play at the same time and then we watch the episode together. So that's how a timer reaction works. I just finished watching Attack on Titan, and I was a bit worried by the end of my review that I wasn't going to be able to watch because I have like very bad neck pain, which results in a headache. But I actually made like a hot water bottle. It doesn't have a cover though, so I have to wrap it in this blanket. And it's kind of difficult to like, because it's this part of my neck that's sore, neck, shoulder, whatever. So I kind of have to like balance it and try and, but it's really helped a lot so far. So I'm just gonna try and keep it balanced like that. But I can't move properly, which is a bit of a problem considering last week I was literally jumping up and down in my seat. But you know, if it comes to that, then I won't care about the stupid water bottle. Anyway, thank you for being here. I hope you will enjoy my reaction and my thoughts at the end of the video. Let's jump in. I just want to put on my earphones. Okay. Okay. I think this will be good. I have worries that it won't be perfect. Like, oh, happy ending. You know what I'm saying? But I have faith that things will turn out good enough. And hopefully we won't lose anyone. But with this show, you never know. Okay, so I will show you just a few seconds of the screen so that you can make sure to align with me. But yeah. Okay, let's press play together in 3, 2, 1. I already have something I want to put in my notes. Freaking hand. The squelching noise. No matter how many lives. At least all the people got out, right? I mean the civilians. Before. At least most of them. Mm-hmm. But I mean, you pushed yourself to the limit, so... Oh, 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 look how cute! Oh. Oh my god, that's a lot of poison. Oh no. Oh no, oh no. Oh no. You weren't! Zenitsu looks okay. She can burn it? That's what... Oh, thank God! No, it's good! She's probably my favorite. Maybe Nezuko can save him too. I wonder what kind of demon flame that is. Look, look! She's so funny. She can like burn it. Kind of like the sun's rays. The rays of the sun. She's like a small baby. Like the rays of the sun. Because she is a beautiful demon with a good heart. I got you. I got you. I got you. One way to find out. Make her Nezuko flames. Wow. Yay! Why are they still alive? Oh, they're just fading away slowly. In their last moments. just a child. She was probably valued more because she was a girl and the mother could use her. His voice sounds familiar. Upper 6. Wait. How can people say this isn't well written? You don't have to like it, but to say it isn't well written just seems like, did you watch it? Did you just watch it with the intention of hating it? Him in the darkness and her in the light. He was a good big brother. He was such a good big brother. Yep, this episode is a 10 out of 10. The season is a 10 out of 10. Aww. Oh, dude. Mm. Aw. Okay. I don't suspect him anymore. He looks genuinely happy. Family? Okay, but there looks like there's still a few minutes left, so probably there's like a preview scene. And there's a lot to talk about. But I'm going to try and keep it as brief as possible because the neck pain is coming back. Well, it's more heavier here now, but I don't know how to freaking... Too hot! I'm not talking now because I'm going to wait until... Wow, that was between these two. Such an amazing, beautiful, well-written story, really. And even though I don't think that it has to be something that every person likes, I really think that the people saying that it's a bad story, it's poorly written, it's like this and that, like the people, like, do they even watch it? I really think that they're just bitter that the show is as popular as it is, so they're trying to, like, shit on it. You don't have to like it, but to say that it's... Ugh, no. Wait, that's it? There's no ending scene? Aww. Well, I guess a lot was revealed, and how do you say? A lot was revealed, and there was... It was rounded off well, but yeah, I was really hoping for a little something extra. But I guess it's because, you know, we're used to getting the secret at the end of the episodes most of the time. Where's the thing that shows it's charging? Oh, there we go. Okay, so for me, this episode was a 10 out of 10. Mainly because I love the story and the characters so much. And also one other thing which I will explain. What I love most about the story, and I've said this about season 1 as well. Sorry, let me just fix this. I've said this about season 1 as well. It humanizes the demons without entertaining the idea of excusing their behaviors because of their history. Let me say that again. It humanizes the demons without... No, I don't remember what I just said. But I love that I look at their history and I can love who they were, and I can hate what they went through and why, and then it led to what they become. So I can love and empathize with their past selves without feeling like the story is trying to convince me to excuse their present actions and what they've done as demons. And in the end, to see them walking together, like Tanjiro said, no one is going to forgive you. But at the very end, you know, don't say these things to each other because you are all you have. And they went into the gates of hell, the flames of hell, essentially together. And a part of me wants to believe in the belief of the concept of, you know, karma, and like, I'm not sure what religion it is and if it's related to karma, but I've read about people who believe like there's 9 or 7 levels of heaven and 7 levels of hell, and it's linked to like karma, but they both kind of like, it's like they come together at the same, like there's 7 levels of heaven and 7 levels of hell, but they both end in the same place, which is just, you know. And karma is about, I don't just mean karma in this life, because once again, there's nothing that they could have done in this life to make up for what they did as demons, right? Because they essentially perpetuated what happened to them. And it is because people do that continuously, that the world is where it is. You know, people, oh, I've been treated poorly, so I will treat others poorly. And that is why so few people reach out the helping hand, is because, I'm not just talking about the people who literally can't, like sometimes you can't help others because you can barely help yourself, but I'm talking about, oftentimes I think that a lot of people who can help don't, because they feel disillusioned by the horrors in the world, just what they themselves went through, and they're too scared to reach out, or they're too angry to reach out. And that was them, you know. I mean, as demons. But to be fair, they didn't, I wouldn't say they didn't have another choice as demons, but they didn't have someone like Tanjiro who was like, he was there for Nezuko, so she didn't turn into a bad demon. But that is my favorite part about the story, is that it can humanize them and make me feel empathy and even love for these characters without feeling like I have to excuse their actions. I can still think, you know, you're not redeemed as the demon you are today. You are not excused for what you've done. You're not. But when I look back at what your past, what made you who you are, I can love that person and feel empathy and hope. Like what I thought while watching, because I've had discussions about this in real life as well, and recently in Attack on Titan, there are people who look at things like this, people suffering, and they say it would be better if they didn't exist. Essentially, euthanasia. Their lives are not worth living. And in the real world, there are people who think that way too, who and I don't want to get too deep into it, because it's like, it's a personal belief. It's not, it's a very controversial topic, and I don't want to get into it in the details. But there are people who look at children suffering and think it would be better if you weren't in this world. It would be better, for example, the guy, I don't know his name now, Daki, and the brother. He said that his mother tried to kill him before he was born and while he was a child. Bless you. Hanku sneezed. And there would be people who think, you know, it would have been better if his mother succeeded in his words, killing him before he was born. And there are people who look at this stuff and be like, yes, it would have been better if she succeeded. But I personally can't look at something like this and think, oh, the world would have been better without you, or, you know, oh, it would have been better if you weren't born into this suffering. I rather see this and I think to myself, can we not create a world in which this doesn't have to happen, or where there is opportunities or help for these situations? I know that it's difficult because, because of people and culture. I mean, there's so many things. Like the society they existed in, they were at the lowest place in the entertainment district arc, right? But from where I am, from where many of us are, looking at the entertainment district arc as a whole seems to be a pretty low place to be in the first place, you know? Having to, it doesn't seem like many of those girls have a choice to be there, right? So whenever we see, when there's no choice, it doesn't seem like the best place to be. But they were at the bottom of that society. So I can understand and empathize with the concept of where some people see this and they think it would have been better if he wasn't born. But for me, I can't help but see this and think, how can we stop this kind of thing from happening? How can we help him in the situation? He said later in the episode about fortune and how the good comes and the bad comes, and sadly there was no good for him besides his sister. And I just feel like we have to acknowledge that suffering is part of life, and our job is not to eliminate the chance of suffering. Like, it would be, there would be no suffering if there was no people, so let's kill all people. Like, that's just not for me, a good way to look at it. I would rather, when I see this, and yes, he has suffered, but I think to myself, how do we get children out of these situations? How do we alleviate the need for the lowest part of an entertainment district? You understand what I'm saying? It's very difficult to put into words, and I'm sure some people will take this the wrong way. And maybe next week I can see your responses and address better, because sometimes when I'm in my fields, then it's difficult to put to words everything that I mean. But if I get your feedback, and then we can, that's why conversation is so important. Discussion, discourse, disagreement, and talking about the disagreement, because that way we can learn to understand each other better. But I almost cried, because when I saw his face and the people throwing him with rocks, and I thought to myself, because I want to have kids, but I know that there are so many kids that in need of a home, and now I just want to adopt 10 kids now, because there is a way to alleviate suffering from the world without taking away people from the world. Does that make sense? It doesn't mean that I shouldn't be allowed to have my own children, you shouldn't be allowed to have your own children. There's so much. It doesn't mean that, you have to adopt children to help the world be a little bit better. But I do think that, I try my best to make the world a little bit of a better place, but stuff like this makes me realize that there is so much more that I can do, and I should sit down and think about that, because not everyone can reach out the hand to help, because they can't even help themselves. Some people don't want to reach out a hand because for whatever their own reason, and I can't force them to do that. Maybe they were like Ducky and her brother, where they were hurt and now they want to hurt others. But if more people like me who can do more do more, maybe we'll have a ripple effect. What a well-written story and characters. But yeah, you could see and wonder, people end up hurting each other, and maybe the world has spiraled down because those who get hurt don't, like, I'm not talking about them now, they were children. Children don't need to, you know, turn the other cheek. But I think that there are many adults who perpetuate the hurt that they've been put through as children. And that is why sometimes it feels like the world is on a downward spiral and it's just getting worse. But I don't know. Maybe there's a balance of good and bad. I don't know. But yeah, when I watched them walk into the flames, it made me feel like I want to believe in a transcendent karmic law that will give them the opportunity in the next life to work their way up again. Does that make sense? That's such a in that sense, it's a nice way to think about it. Walking into the flames, hopefully they get away to work their way up again, right? But it's also a horrible way to think about it, because then you think, oh, what did he do in a past life to deserve being born into this situation? Like, that's not a nice way to think about it. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes, like, when I get to this point, I'm like, I don't want to make sense of suffering. I don't think you can make sense of this kind of horrible stuff. But I just don't want to cause more of it. I don't want to be the reason for anyone else's suffering. In fact, if I can help and alleviate a person's suffering, then I want to do that. Nezuko has a new power, but I think it's kind of like, maybe it stems from the fact that she's a demon that doesn't get her sustenance from people. So maybe her flames are like the sun, where it takes away, burns demons, you know, and anything from them, which, like the poison. But wow, what a great, beautiful story and episode. So, episode 10. Story 10, characters 10. Visuals for this episode 9, but it's like 11 and 9 make a 10. So I can't give an 11 and I can't give 11, but I'm gonna do that. It you know. Wow, once again, Daki's voice acting, or Ume's voice acting, amazing. So, and as well as her brother and Tanjiro and Inosuke and Zenitsu, and even little Nezuko sounds. And investment, easy 10. So even though that was a 9 to me for this episode, I'm not, everything else, it's just a 10 overall. So let's see the average score for this arc. We started with a 9.3, then a 9.3, episode 3 is a 9.2, episode 4 is a 9.4, episode 5 is a 9.9, episode 6 is a 9.9, episode 7 is a 10, episode 8, I guess, I just didn't change the number. Episode 8 is a 9.3, episode 9. What the hell? What is with my numbering? Huh? What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? Oh, this was season... This was... Oh, okay. Sorry. That was just season 2. So that was the Mugen Train stuff. Okay. So here... Okay. It is... I was just like so confused. Let's try that again. Average score of the season. Starting with Entertainment District Arc episode 1 got a 9.3. Okay. 2 got a 10. Episode 3 got a 9.4. Episode 4 got a 9. Episode 5 got an 8.5. 6 got a 9.7. Episode 7 got a 10. Episode 8, 8.9. Episode 9, 10. Episode 10, 10. That gives us an average score of a 9.5, which I will... I want to round it up to a 10, but there were one or two things that kind of... I think that the story could have expanded on, or... I don't know. I'm gonna give it some more thought. I'll leave it on the average score for now, but I might round it up at a later time. I just kind of need to think back. Yeah. It's difficult now after having seen what I saw, to think objectively, or at least somewhat objectively, about the season. So what I'm gonna do is, okay, we watched episode 6 of Attack on Titan. Wait. And then the last episode of Demon Slayer. It's on a 9.6 at the moment, if you can see here. And I'm gonna leave it at that. And I'll just give myself time to process this last episode. But the episode itself was a 10 out of 10. If I had to score it roughly now overall, I would say the overall story of the Entertainment District arc was a 9. The characters were 10. Mainly for the villains. This to me is obviously there are shows that do it differently, and that's great, but this to me is my favorite way for an author to write the villain, that I can empathize with them, I can love them, but I feel the story isn't trying to convince me of anything like their actions are excused because, well, look how sad their backstory is, or I just don't feel that for some reason coming from this show. That's just my experience, and I just love that. That to me is my favorite type of villain. It's like they own that side of them. They don't want to be forgiven. The characters don't forgive them. It's just, I don't know. The last episode, Tanjiro's words to the two heads lying in front of him was just a perfect summary of that. So 10 out of 10 for characters. I mean, can't not give it a 10 out of 10 for visuals, even though I don't think it was 10 out of 10 all the way through at every single moment. But overall, I don't think that I could fault this, because there just was so much put into the visuals. Wow, at times. Yeah. I'm just gonna go with a 10. Audio, I want to give it a 10 mainly for freaking Daki's voice acting, but Tanjiro as well, Zenitsu, Inosuke, the main villains, the main boys. Like, that is a 10 out of 10 for me. The hype at times really was emphasized by the music as well. Audio, I would say 9.67, near perfect. Okay, and then no, 9.8. Okay, and then enjoyment/investment. Well, I really looked forward to this every week. I would say also a 9.8. Near perfect. Near perfect. Wait, characters, why is that a 9? That should be a 10. Wait, did I change that? No, it's a 10. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, now that that's 7, I guess I can make that 9.7 again. Yeah. But this basically round upable to 10 out of 10. But there were just small things that I feel like I still need to go sit with and think about. And then I'll come back and decide if I want to round it up. But it was basically a near perfect arc. My favorite parts, however, were the villains that they faced. I did not expect them to have I didn't expect to feel about them the way I felt about them today. But also, you know, the growth of the characters. Zenitsu and Inosuke, Tanjiro, Nezuko and her scenes. Like, that was amazing. Tengen was super fun and likable. So yeah, honestly, an amazing arc, and I really enjoyed it. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching it with me. I don't know when the next season will come out. I'll go check on Twitter, or you can let me know in the comments. But yeah, I'll see you guys then. Bye.